Good morning, everybody. So it is 11:11 on Tuesday, and normally I would do these readings on a Monday, but since we've had a public holiday here in Australia, we've all been out doing all sorts of things. I've been down in Bellingen, a beautiful part of the world, and yeah, today feels like the start of the week for me. So here we go. I'm just going to give everyone a chance to hop online, but I'd love to hear how your weekends have been and how your week's been. Last week, a lot of people who I've been talking to have said they had a bit of a heavy week, a week of kind of moving through maybe some personal challenges or things that have been coming up. And even for myself, I was feeling that as well, and feeling like I didn't have much energy to enter into the weekend. But I feel, oh, hey, Ali, great to see you there. Awesome. Yeah, I feel so fully charged. And for me, I'm realizing how much it is in our own control, regardless of what is going on astrologically, what is going on internally with our own process, and also what is going on with our friends. Because, we bounce off each other so much, but it's so important to, when you're noticing that you might be feeling a little stuck, a little flat or tired, to really take it into your own power to recharge. And I've spent all weekend just really connecting in, and I can't tell you how alive I feel from just harnessing just the energy we have around us from the earth, the sun, the air, the trees, the ocean. I've just come straight from Watergoes Beach, for those of you that know. Hey, Catherine, so good to see you. So I've got a few friends that are wanting to jump online, but in the meantime, how have you guys been? Catherine, how's life flowing down there in Melbourne? And Ali, are you in Bali? What's been going on? I've got quite a few requests today to pull cards, so I'm going to first tune into a collective reading for the week for all of us, and trusting that people will find this video in perfect time this week. And also so happy to pull them individually for you as well. So just going to center now and connecting in with our friends, the crystalline beings, for some guidance for the week. Okay. Ali, happy in self and taking time to have myself. That sounds beautiful. Back from Bali. Changes all around. Yeah, I'm feeling you, honey. Big changes. I can't wait to catch up. Feeling alive. Yes. Okay. So first card for the day for us, we have Apatite. So just a reminder about how these readings work. The first card is like the opening, how we open into this space. Second card, Selenite. We've had this one before over the last couple of weeks. The center card represents the real, like the message and what is really being delivered this week, and how we can really tune into ourselves. So Catherine, needing more self-care. Beautiful. Okay, we'll see what comes out with this, and then we'll go into that as well. And third card, Ruby. Wow, we're gonna like really end with a bang here. This is beautiful. So we have Apatite, Selenite, and Ruby. So Apatite, oh, hey mom, how you going? Okay, Apatite. So the first card of the day is all about foresight, and Apatite actually is very much connected with, it's an incredibly blue stone. I wish I had some to show you, but it's an incredibly beautiful blue. And it's a stone about communication, but a specific kind of communication. Apatite is an amazing stone to assist you with communicating with the earth and communicating with the animal realms as well. So it's really great if you can all pay attention to the animals that walk around us. I mean, today, when I walk up the lighthouse, I saw whales, I saw dolphins, I saw sharks, I saw eagles. So when I see these animals, for me, I can translate that into crystals. So You know, with the dolphins, we have emerald energy, sharks with black tourmaline, whales, diamond, or depending on the types of whales, and eagles, golden frequency. So all of those frequencies are giving me a signature of what's happening around in my field. But for you, you know, just asking yourself, what does this bird, this magpie that's turned up on my back porch, what's the feeling I'm getting from this? So apatite is how we connect with the earth and how we communicate with the earth and how we allow the earth to communicate with us. So, and I'm sure there's a lot more written about each of these stones. So just so you all know, this is my interpretation and my experience through these stones personally, but I also invite you all to feel into it. There is no one way ever with, you know, working out what different things mean. For some people, one animal will mean one thing and mean something else to someone else, and same with a crystal. So it's really important to trust and tune into your own direction around these. Okay, so it's also about not only communication, but about foresight. So at the start of the week now, how can we use our foresight with the information that we're gaining from what's around us, from the earth, from the animals, from the crystals, to look forward and think about how we're wanting to bring our week, I'll turn my phone off, going to bring our week into focus and into a way in which we can bring more nourishment and more self-love and more growth into our lives. So, and the next card follows on really beautifully from this. So the Selenite is all about spiritual guidance. So here we have communication with the earth and all the nature beings, and here we have communication with the heavens and all our angelic and ancestral and all our guides, all those that are unseen and here to assist us. So we have such a beautiful balance, especially right now, of seen and unseen guidance. It's just about listening, you know, taking a moment, taking time to really see what's around you, see what's showing up in your field, and listening and seeing, like, what am I feeling inspired to do? How am I feeling guided? You know, maybe that's just to go for a walk. And, you know, if you do regular walks, for example, maybe it's to take a totally different route and to really let each step, let the next one unfold. So, yeah, it's really great just to tune into your guidance. And that's the key message this week. It's all about guidance and all about listening deeply. And we end the week with Ruby. So Ruby is a really powerful card. Ruby is one of the Council of Seven, which is one of the original crystalline matrices that was set up on planet Earth. So there were 7 originally when this Earth was seeded. And Ruby is one of those. So Ruby is one that you will know that in many cultures across the globe is spoken of. I think in the Bible there's references to Ruby hundreds of times. In many different cultures you'll see that Ruby has been in their breastplates, in their crowns, in their scepters and different items of power. So Ruby is all about that warrior energy, that creative energy. It is the primary stone that works on the sacral chakra. So our center of creation, our center of sexuality, and our center of fire and passion. So it is a master healer in all areas to do with sexuality, to do with fears that we store in this area, as well as like how we can transmute and use this energy to really create and be passionate about our creations. So how can we listen to our guidance and have the foresight to birth our passion and our big courageous hearts to move forward on our path? Ruby is also very much a heartstone. So connecting in with the womb or the hara space for men, that real warrior spirit where you're standing strong in yourself opening your heart, when that energy from your creative sexual center can rise to your heart space, that opening that happens of like, I'm a warrior, I can do anything. That is what ruby stands for. And when ruby grows as a crystal, it's a hexagonal shape. So the hexagon can then, if we imagine a hexagon, you can actually draw lines to create a star tetrahedron as well. And the star tetrahedron, which is two triangles that are kind of coming together like this, is often depicted in yogic scriptures for the heart chakra. So it's also obviously the Star of David and used in a lot of sacred geometry. So this crystal grows in that shape. All of its crystalline lattices is in this shape. So it's one of those things when you look at a plant or crystal or even an animal or anything in the natural world, we call it the doctrine of signatures. When you can look at something and its very shape, its color can tell you how it works. So ruby, by its color, tells us that it's working with our like deep kind of deep sacral and base centers, and its shape and its geometric structure shows us it also works in the heart. So that's a really beautiful, powerful trinity to take through this week. So if I was to sing these stones, it would go something like this. When I listen and see what is around me, I gain the foresight to be able to receive the guidance to step into my courageous heart to birth the world I want to live in. Something like that. So the words are foresight, spiritual guidance, and spiritual warrior. So the fact that we have two spiritual in these last two cards shows that this is where the deep work is. We're doing spirit work here. We're working in these realms that are, yes, they're grounded, but we're also sort of working behind the veil here, doing a lot of the inner work. And that makes sense, being winter time here in the Southern Hemisphere. This is the time we are going deep within ourselves and doing the work. Okay, so would anyone like a card? I'm just going to have a look here. Okay, Ali, I'll get a card for you, my friend. Back from Bali. Let's see what's going on for you, Ali. Okay. Clear quartz. What a beautiful way to enter back into your home space after a nourishing holiday in Bali. Clear quartz is a stone that holds the whole spectrum and amplifies the whole spectrum. So it's like rainbow light, but light embodied. In light is so much potential, so many different frequencies of light within the clarity of a clear quartz. So that space where, you know, you've gone away to really go deep within yourself and to do any healing or reflecting or clearing out of the system. And as you come now to anchor back into this space, your home space, it's about really embodying all aspects of yourself. And clear quartz is also very much a stone that heals and nourishes the nervous system. So it's very much aligned with the central column, the spinal column of the body, and keeping the light channels open through your body. So I hope that makes sense for you, Ali. And oh, Rhiannon, you're there too. Hello. Yes, I'm going to get one for you, Rhi. Ooh, Catherine. Yep. And hey, Tomek, I can see you there too. Awesome. Okay, so Catherine, you're next. Hearing that you're needing to have more self-love time and time for you. Catherine's a new mama. She's got a beautiful baby, Elkie, sending lots of love to Elkie. Okay. Wow. Moldavite. I think Moldavite came up last week. Moldavite, the star child. So quite often when I'm doing readings for mums, the star child stone comes up. So you and Elkie are very much merged at this time, and it is such a time of service, being a new mum. As you know, you have to be at their beck and call, but you are holding space for a new little being that is you are one right now. So you have the ability to also, as she nurtures from you, you can also access her divine connection to the stars and back through her as well. So I think it's really great to, rather than feeling like this is just coming through right now, and I don't have children, so I don't know exactly what it's like, but I invite you to imagine she is giving to you as much as you are giving to her. You are surrendering and sacrificing a lot right now, but what is coming through this child and the space that she's maybe forcing you to sit within when you're exhausted and you don't have much sleep, it helps you kind of drop behind the veils where you need to let go so deeply into those spaces of exhaustion, but that kind of takes you to that precipice where you can really access wisdom that you may not normally be able to if you're busy getting on with your life, doing your things, organizing your business, all those other things. So just know that nourishment can come in ways that you may not anticipate it to, and through this little baby of yours. So I hope that helps, Catherine. And Kirsten, hi. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Kirsten. So good to see you on here. So Rhiannon, you're next. I'm going to get you a card, babes. And Tomek, if you'd like one too, and Kirsten. Mum, if you're still there. I've got lots of comments. I can't really keep up with them all, but I've got a jumping card. Ah, beautiful. So Rhiannon, I've got diamond for you, hun. So this is a whale card as well. I just saw a bunch of whales this morning. So the light body, very similar to clear quartz. So both of them have very much a rainbow ray, and there's a lot of light that comes from a diamond, but a diamond is actually made of coal. So coal is like traditionally dark and black, and it is compressed under so much pressure and heat and fire in the earth that it totally transforms. So it's such a transformation stone. So under deep, and I know you, Rhea, you've been through a lot this year and so much transformation and so much, I don't know if I'd say self-combustion, but the pressure that is feeling like it's been around you is actually really being an alchemical process, transforming the coal into a diamond so you can radiate in such delicate perfection. And it's also a stone of making sure you have the energy. It's very different to clear quartz in that clear quartz radiates light, whereas diamond receives light. And you wouldn't think about that from a diamond because diamonds are so sparkly, but actually because they're carbon-based, they actually receive. So just checking in with your self-nourishment and allowing yourself to receive and sit in this space of receiving right now. Okay, so I'm going to pick one from Kirsten next. Time for me, still here. Yes, I'll get one for you, Mum, for sure. Okay. So Kirsten, how are you, Kirsten? I haven't seen you in ages. You've been on an adventure as well. Lodestone. Okay, so this is like the opposite of clear quartz in some way. It is very much one of the heaviest stones, and it's the stone that's often called magnetite as well because it's magnetic and it anchors you deep into the earth. The animal that connects in with lodestone is the earthworm. So worms can get right down into the soil, and it's all about really anchoring deeply into the soil and just letting yourself be aware of your heaviness, and don't judge that heaviness as something like light is better than heavy, because it's not true. We need to anchor in order to connect in with the earth. And I know you work a lot with crystals as well, and you understand that the center, the core of the earth is made of this. So that is a deeply primal, deeply feminine energy, this lodestone, that helps you to keep grounded and feeling the body of the earth. The earth is going through so much change right now, and we are going through so much change. So by giving yourself the opportunity to really anchor in and hunker down and feel that magnetism that pulls from below your seat bones as you're seated on the earth, and just really allow yourself to be in communion with the earth and how that is reflecting in your body, and giving, really like listening deeply. I hope that makes sense. And Tomek, I've got one for you. It's so lovely having you guys all on here now. It makes a big difference. Oh, beautiful, Tomek. The stone of self-love, rhodochrosite. Rhodochrosite's one of my favorite stones. It's the most gorgeous, like peachy pink color that has bands of like white lace through it. And it is the stone of self-love. There are so many different flavors of love, but this is all about total nourishment. And this is the time for it. This is the time. I mean, when is it not the time to self-love, right? But especially when it's cold out, you know, there's often desires to go out and connect and be with people. But sometimes the best thing you can do is just, you know, run a hot bath and take some time for yourself. And if that means asking for it, like creating boundaries for yourself so you can give that to yourself, that's something that is being called for you this week. So yeah, I hope that makes sense for you. And if there's anything that you can do to nourish yourself, maybe getting a massage or whatever you feel is gonna nourish you, do that this week. That's your priority, okay? You have complete and utter permission to fill yourself with love and always possible. Okay, Mum, this is for you. Haven't spoken to you in a while. Looking forward to having a catch up. And I'm going to bring you a crystal card as well. Okay, Amazonite. So this is the stone of the middle path, balance. This is a stone that connects very much with the a dharmic philosophy on taking the middle path. So not going too far in one direction. And just because I know you, what comes to mind for me right now is, even in a path of service where we're helping others, it's really important that we balance that with serving ourselves and taking care of ourselves. So, and it can be like socially, it's good to be social, but it's also really good to have alone time. It's great to be really healthy and like do lots of cleansing and fasting and all those things that like sort of strips and purifies the body, but it's also really good to come back and nourish the body with some like congis and some warm soups and those kind of things. And I know because I'm your daughter and I'm so similar, we can go one way for a long time before we decide to go the other way. So just see how you can be more gentle with that middle path. And I'm going to take that on board too. So for all of you, all of these cards that I'm pulling are totally for me as well. And they're for all of you listening out there. Just because I'm pulling them for specific people doesn't mean that they're not relevant for all of us in some ways. So thank you. Oh, it's so great. Massage is due, Tomek. That sounds amazing. I'm really happy about that. Okay, beautiful. And I promised Junie and Shah, who are working and can't be with us right now, that I'd pull a card for them. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So when they're watching back, they can see. Spot on, feeling it. Oh, I'm so glad. You know, your feedback, guys, is so great for me. I just really pull these cards and I go with it. Some of you I know well, some of you I don't. And I just speak whatever's coming through in the moment. So I'm glad that feels spot on. Okay, Shah, gorgeous. This one's for you. You know, I know what this one is. Rose quartz. So, and I also know this is in your name, Trinity. So rose quartz. This, as well as the stone of unconditional love, is the stone of forgiveness and healing the masculine lineage within you, within your within all aspects of your life. So forgiveness, just, sitting with that. What does that mean? It doesn't necessarily mean forgiving people. It can, like, outside of yourself, it can be even forgiving yourself sometimes. Sometimes we can be our own harshest critics, and we don't need to put that pressure on ourselves. So wherever we can take that pressure off ourselves, it actually makes it easier for us to forgive others, forgive situations, and really, it's quite a tall order. It's like sometimes we don't even realize how we can hold all of us to such high standards. I hold myself to a very high standard, but that can cause myself to be very judgmental as well on myself and others. And so a good dose of rose quartz is always the remedy for that. And Ginny, you, and we'll do one more after this because I just got a message from my friend Jess. She can't jump on for some reason online, but she was excited to be here. So, okay, Ginny, this one's for you, my friend. Amethyst. So Juniper and Shar are beautiful crystal angels surrounded by crystals at the Cosmic Crystal Warehouse right now. So that's really lovely to pull them a card. So amethyst, Ginny, this is a stone of humility. So it very much is a stone of, so when you think of purple, quite often you think about royalty and regalness. So a lot of the royals will wear purple because it holds that kind of grandeur and that luster. But in order to really be aligned with that regalness and that inner queen, that inner king, you must have humility. So doesn't mean, to be humble doesn't mean that you can't be strong and you can't be on some level totally believing in yourself, because once that's there, then you can really sink into that. And I know that about you, Junie. You're a Leo, you've got a lion heart, and you are all heart, but that's already so embodied in you. So the amethyst is just like, just sink into it and just trust that that's who you are. There's no need to prove anything. You can just be. And it's also a stone to relax and dream. Its plant companion is lavender. So you think about how lavender works. It's a relaxant. So give yourself the time to relax. Have a hot bath, put some lavender oils in, maybe chuck some amethyst in the bath as well, and really just sink into that dream space. Okay. Hey, Alan, great to see you on. Would you like a card? I can pull a card for you if you'd like. And in the meantime, I'm just going to pull one for my friend Jess. She's almost here, I think, or she can't quite make it. Hello, everyone. Okay, Jess, this one's for you, beauty. Amber, the stone of laughter. Now, laughter is amber is basically crystallized sunlight. So it's the sap that comes out of the trees, and it's this alchemical process where the trees bring up the water from the earth, and then as it's dripping down the edge of the tree as a sap, the sun that comes in from the branches and the water that comes up the roots is crystallized as it comes out. So amber is all about bringing that sun's warmth into your life. And with that comes a lightness of heart and a laughing, like a laughter, a natural laughter. Quite often when amber comes up, it actually means that's what you need for your medicine. I know, Jess, that you are moving through a big change, moving from Sydney to Melbourne right now, leaving behind a relationship, leaving behind a job. It can be intense times. So it's time to lighten up and have fun, be with friends, surround yourself with people that make you laugh. I mean, we just had the most amazing weekend in Sydney, the three of us, just laughing, and that is your medicine. Do what you can to surround yourself with your friends, or at very least go get a comedy and have a good laughter, because that will be the remedy for you right now. So much love to you. And we've got Deirdre Sini. Hi, Sini. Good to see you. Would anyone else like a card before I say goodbye? Sini, would you like a card? Deirdre, Alan? I know you just jumped on, but you can press replay to see the 3 cards that I pulled for the week. Just give you a little bit of time. And yes, Sini, okay, here we go, beauty. This one's for you. You've been in big transition too, as I know. It's so much flux happening for us all, and you know, guys, just keep up the good work. We got the Ruby card, we got the warriors coming out. Bring on your courageous heart, bring on your warrior spirit. These times we are going through such big change. The earth is going through change. I mean, I've spoken a lot about the volcanic activity that's happening all over the planet, Guatemala, Hawaii. You know, like whole areas are being decimated, but as this can be intense, it's also like alchemical transformation, and sometimes it feels hard and sometimes it's perceived as a loss, but there is always something new that is alchemized from any of these processes. So, okay, Deirdre, you too. Okay, so Sini, this one's for you first, and then we'll get one for you, Deirdre. I hope I'm saying that right. Deirdre. Okay, Sini, focus. And do you know what I love about this card? Not only is it the most divine, azurite is the most divine, intense neon blue, but even though it is an incredibly blue card, which is all about the third eye and about really focusing and getting into tunnel vision with what it is that you're wanting to create. And I know you're in this creation space right now, Sini. So regeneration, yeah. I mean, there's different words, keywords for these cards, and there'll be a lot of content if you go in and read about any of them. But for me, azurite, it is very much connected with the third eye, but also the sacral. So the sacral has the orange ray, and believe it or not, even though azurite is blue, it has a lot of orange color frequency within it. So this is how you connect your creativity from your sacral, bring it up into your third eye so you can have focus with it. The animal that it's connected with is the bee. So you think about the way the bees work. I mean, they are focused. They find a flower, they hone in, and they're going in for the nectar. So this is what you want to do too. Same as the last reading you did. Did you have azurite as well? I'm going to give you a close up there. So that's great. Keep focusing, sister. You're on the right path. Be a little queen bee that you are, and find the flower you want to rest on and suckle into that nectar. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to do one more for Deirdre. Okay, this one's for you. Just her. Okay. Oh, again, we've had a couple of repeats. Larimar. So this came up, I think, last week. Larimar is probably the stone that I get asked for the most. It is a very popular stone, and quite often when stones are popular, it's because it is a collective frequency that us as humanity are moving into at this time. And Larimar is a stone of service. It's a stone of how can we bring our gifts into the community to be able to make our life our service. This does not mean that you need to put others ahead of yourself by any means. There's also a shadow aspect to service. By serving you and making sure you're in alignment with delivering your highest gifts and taking the steps forward to deliver this and live this and embody this, this is your service. Larimar is also the first card in the cyclic nature of the planet. So every day we have a different frequency that the planet moves into. The first day of every year is always a Larimar day. The first day of every birthday that you have is a Larimar day. This signifies the beginning, the start of a whole new journey. So I hope that makes sense for you, Deirdre, and I hope that all of these cards for each of you individually has served the collective. So much love to you all. Really loving having you on board and all the feedback. So I hope you have a beautiful week ahead and looking forward to seeing you at 11:11 next Monday. Much love.